So what do I think about Donald Trump having a problem with the Smithsonian Institute Museum with a lot of artifacts about slavery, and he's trying to say it's woke or whatnot? He's ignorant, he's racist, and he's behind the eight ball like all his supporters. Uh, People have don't even use woke in the right context. But the reality is history. The reality is that's what made America. That's how the country was founded. That's how the New World was founded, off of slavery, off the chains, off the backs. No matter how you try to do it, it's real. You see, when you're so set in your racist ideology, how you think you got to be where you got to be? You talk about class and you talk about wealth and everything that you have. How do you think you came to be? How did your father blow up and do what he did? How did you think that he came to be, Donald Trump? Because the reality is you use that, and that has been able to help foster your agendas and plans. And that's why white privilege is alive and well. How do you think you can oppress a group or race of people and use those, everything that you use as laws and declarations? That's what was built off of those backs. So everything that where you sit, that very building you sit in the White House, how do you think that came to be? You see, the thing about it is, when you try to whitewash history, which they do in the school system, I charge the United States school system with one of the biggest corruptions ever, because the misleading and the miseducation. If your black student happen to be getting tokenisms about your history, but never told your truth and your full history, that is something that they don't ever want you to know. They want you to be oblivious and ignore it. See, and before people come at, well, this happened then and whatnot. Well, what about the Confederacy? You lost that, and you still see these rebel flags. You still see these ignorant jive turkey racist bigots running around with Confederate flags. They still talking about rebel flags. That shows you how little enlightened they've become. And that's what he's fueling on. He's fueling on people's ignorance and hoping that they don't know that want the truth. That's why you got people. See, let me tell you something. If you understood what woke's about, woke ain't about making you do nothing. It's about acknowledging the truth. That's what being awakened about, the actuality. I'm not talking about some hip hop video, some fantasy where somebody, becomes like something out of a shaft or something. I'm talking about a reality that is real. And that's the woke of it, from an enlightened of who really put things in perspective, who really built. The educators, the enlightened, the people, the Dr. Charles Drews of the world, the George Washington Carvers of the world, Frederick Douglasses of the world, Sojourner Truth. We talking about the people that were pioneering